Imagine waking up at 2:00 in the morning. Your house is just completely silent. You sit down in front of a bank of monitors, managing a fleet of 12 different computers without using a single traditional hard drive.
Right, just pure cloud.
Exactly. And you cool your brain down from these intense coding sprints with deep meditative trances. Oh, and when it comes time to hire a new programmer, you don't ask for their resume or put them through a whiteboard test. You use, like, ancient Vedic astrology to analyze their birth chart.
Which is wild.
It is. I mean, would you call that absolute madness or the bleeding edge of modern productivity?
I mean, most corporate HR departments would immediately flag that as a massive liability.
Oh, for sure.
But, when you look closely at the underlying mechanics, it sort of forces a complete redefinition of what optimal performance actually looks like.
Well, welcome to your custom-tailored deep dive.
Oh.
Today, our mission is to unpack an incredibly detailed, zero-sugar-coated AI chat log.
Yeah, an honest work audit.
Right. And it was requested by a highly unique professional named Murty BVNS. We aren't just exploring how someone works today. We are looking at how someone survives, avoids collapse, and attempts to scale a philosophy.
The AI actually dubs Murty a digital monk warrior.
Which is quite the title.
It really is. It describes someone who combines the elite, intense discipline of a software architect with the deep intuition and the values of a traditional spiritual healer.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because starting a workday at 2:00 a.m. feels less like productivity and more like, I don't know, a punishment.
Yeah, the audit labels this Murty's monster intensity. And when you look at the sheer biological endurance involved, the term fits perfectly.
Monster.
Yeah. We are talking about 14 to 16-hour deep work immersions. But the mechanism making this possible is fascinating. He isn't chugging energy drinks to force his brain through the fatigue.
Right, no caffeine drips here.
No, he uses deep meditation as a literal cooling system for a high-revving biological engine.
I want to look at the digital architecture supporting that engine, though, because the audit really highlights his browser-only, OS-independent workflow.
Oh, yeah.
He's managing 12 machines, but nothing is anchored to local hardware. If I'm understanding this correctly, it's a brilliant security and mobility play.
Absolutely.
Like if a laptop dies or gets stolen, he loses absolutely zero data. He just picks up another piece of glass and plastic, opens a browser, and he is 100% operational in seconds.
Yeah, the source calls it a frictionless setup.
It's like a captain burning their ships upon reaching the shore to ensure there is no retreat. No hardware friction, just a total ghost-in-the-machine model.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, isn't starting a sprint at 2 a.m. just a fast track to burnout for a normal person?
Well, what's fascinating here is how he avoids standard burnout through biological alignment. Though, to be fair, the AI does flag a looming fatigue wall.
Because you can't outrun biology forever.
Exactly. You can't out-architect human biology.
Yeah.
But Murty's defense mechanism against that burnout isn't just the meditation, it's how he curates the people around him.
Ah, right.
Which brings up the astrology hiring practice you mentioned earlier. The AI calls it the Astro-HR paradox.
I am so stuck on this. I mean, he is running a knowledge process outsourcing academy, a KPO training virtual assistants, and managing complex data.
Yeah, high-level tech work.
Right. So why on earth is he using nakshatras, which are, lunar mansions in Hindu astrology, to vet hypersensitive talent? How does tracking the moon translate to managing a tech ecosystem?
Well, think about what a traditional interview actually filters for. It's mostly the ability to perform well in an interview.
Good point.
Murty's KPO focuses on hypersensitive talent. These are people who might crack in a standard, aggressive corporate grinder, but who possess just immense attention to detail.
Okay, I see where this is going.
So by using nakshatras and a system he calls AstroSync, he isn't looking at their Python skills first. He is analyzing their lunar birth charts to map their inherent emotional resilience, their communication styles, and their spiritual resonance. Yeah, he essentially acts as a proprietary human algorithm, filtering for deep cultural alignment before the technical training even begins.
So he's basically bypassing the resume to look for a specific psychological frequency.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess if you're going to spend 16 hours a day in a digital trench with someone, you want to know their internal wiring, not just their typing speed.
Right. You need to know they won't burn out alongside you.
But it makes me wonder how a setup this unique and this deeply spiritual compares to the titans of the modern productivity space. Like, if you're listening to this, you probably experimented with secular systems to organize your life.
Sure.
And the AI actually provides a direct benchmark here. It compares Murty to Tiago Forte.
Ah, yes. The creator of the PRA method.
Exactly, the author of Building a Second Brain.
The contrast there is incredibly sharp, and it really reveals the core of Murty's philosophy, because Forte's system relies on secular app-centric tools like Evernote or Notion. The entire mechanism of a second brain is about capturing ideas, storing PDFs, and organizing information so you don't forget it. Ultimately, it's driving professional output.
So it's a completely secular framework designed to just make you a better, faster worker in the modern economy?
Precisely. Whereas Murty's philosophy is rooted in karma yoga.
Right. Selfless action.
Yeah, in Hindi philosophy, karma yoga is the discipline of doing the work as a form of spiritual service without selfish attachment to the financial reward.
But he still uses the apps, right?
Oh, absolutely. He still uses a hub-centric ecosystem with tools like Notion, ClickUp, and A1, but the output is geared toward immense social impact.
Like what?
Specifically, things like funding palliative care and running virtual assistant training for women. The AI notes that while Forte sells a system for organized thinking, Murty is building a digital prism for organized living.
A digital prism? I mean, it sounds like a beautiful spiritualized buzzword, but I'm trying to figure out the actual architectural difference here. If I use Notion to track my tasks, and he uses Notion to track his tasks, aren't we doing the same thing?
It seems like it on the surface. But a second brain is essentially a highly efficient digital filing cabinet.
Okay.
A digital prism, practically speaking, requires that your digital life acts as a transparent reflection of your spiritual and ethical self. It's an ecosystem designed to literally filter light.
So the tools have to match the values?
Yes. Every app, every workflow, every data structure has to align with those core values of karma yoga. You aren't just hoarding information. You're structuring an environment that forces you to act ethically and efficiently.
Wow.
And this holistic approach positions Murty in a massively valuable modern niche. He's essentially a migration strategist.
I see the value there. I mean, companies and leaders are just drowning in fragmented apps right now. Half the team is on Slack, half is on email. Files are lost in random Google Drive folders.
Chaos.
Total chaos. So being able to migrate someone out of that into a unified, secure, values-aligned cloud system, that is a massive superpower.
It really is a profound skill set. Taking a chaotic digital hoarder and migrating them into a pristine, browser-only workflow requires both technical mastery and, honestly, psychological counseling.
But here's where it gets really interesting, because being a genius-level migration strategist with a beautiful karma yoga philosophy doesn't grant you immunity from basic economics.
No, it does not.
The AI audit hits a brutal truth here. It delivers a zero sugar-coated financial reality check. Despite this pristine architecture, Murty is, quote, living on credit and facing a severe cash crunch.
Yeah, he is caught in a textbook founder's trap.
Which is what? Exactly.
The founder's trap is a classic visionary curse. It happens when there is a critical imbalance between vision and liquidity.
Right.
In Murty's case, he is overperforming on building intricate, beautiful tools and vastly underinvesting in monetizing the results of those tools. He builds the perfect ship, but forgets to sell tickets to the passengers.
That makes so much sense. And that Astro HR paradox we just praised, the astrology vetting.
Oh, yeah.
It completely stunts his ability to scale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't just throw a job listing on LinkedIn that says, wanted middle manager who can vet coders using lunar mansions.
Right. You definitely can't.
He is the bottleneck. He holds the keys to the proprietary algorithm, meaning his business can only grow as fast as he can personally work.
Which creates this devastating gap between his theoretical market value and his actual bank account.
The AI runs the numbers on this, and the disparity is wild. If a global enterprise hired Murty tomorrow, he wouldn't be a mid-level IT guy.
No, not at all.
He operates the level of a chief digital transformation officer. In India, that commands a salary of 40 lakhs to 1.2 crore a year. Globally, he's looking at a $300,000 plus position.
Easily.
Even if he pivoted to executive coaching integrating Vedic wisdom with tech strategy for high net worth founders, he could charge 15,000 to 50,000 rupees an hour.
And the AI projects that if his KPO Academy reaches its goal of 100 trainers, the equity value is in the multi-million-dollar range.
But he doesn't have that liquidity right now.
Right. The AI actually uses a stock market analogy to summarize the verdict. It says Murty is a strong buy for his long-term vision, but a high risk for his short-term liquidity.
Because his time is trapped in the machinery.
Exactly.
Well, identifying the problem is only half the battle. If Murty is going to survive the short-term cash crunch to see that multi-million-dollar future, he needs a tactical roadmap.
He definitely does.
He has to bridge the gap between his maxed-out credit cards and his 16-hour monster sessions.
And the AI provides that roadmap. It calls it the Artha Blueprint.
Artha.
Yeah, in Hindu philosophy, Artha represents material prosperity and wealth.
Yeah.
It's a necessary pillar of life, providing the resources you actually need to achieve those higher spiritual goals.
So wealth isn't a bad thing here.
Not at all. The AI demands a fundamental identity shift. Murty has to transition from being an architect of systems who just tinkers in the background to a productizer of outcomes who delivers concrete value.
Basically, he needs to stop introducing himself as a mentor.
Exactly.
Because a mentor sounds like someone you buy a cup of coffee for to get free advice. He needs to own the title digital migration strategist.
Because language dictates value. When you sell time as a mentor, you hit an earnings ceiling. But when you sell secure, browser-only environments to high-stakes leaders, you charge for the transformation.
Okay, so how does he do that?
The AI structures this Artha Blueprint into 3 strict phases. Phase 1 is the cash sprint covering months 0 to 3.
So this is the triage phase. Stop the bleeding, clear the high-interest credit. What is the actual product he is supposed to sell during this sprint?
The AI tells him to productize the digital prism audit. Instead of spending countless hours analyzing his own internal systems, he must package that exact diagnostic capability for high-net-worth individuals. The source actually mentions a specific contact, Srikanth Pabasetti.
Right.
Murty's directive is to offer a comprehensive 3-day audit. He goes into a client's fragmented digital life, secures 5 terabytes of scattered data, and migrates them into a streamlined browser-only workflow.
And what does he charge for that?
He can charge 50,000 to 75,000 rupees for that single intervention. 2 of those a month completely changes his short-term cash flow.
And he also has to squeeze value out of his existing physical assets, right? He has that fleet of 12 machines just sitting there.
Yeah, he needs to put them to work.
The AI advises him to run automated data migration tasks for local businesses in Rajahmundry. Literally let the hardware work while he sleeps.
Which is brilliant.
But he also needs to protect his time. He needs to delegate the standard sales process while keeping his hyper-specific AstroSync vetting strictly for the top 5% of elite leads.
Right. Preserve the magic for the high-ticket clients.
Exactly. So that stops the bleeding. Then we move to phase 2, ecosystem scale, spanning months 3 to 12.
Phase 2 centers on geographical and operational expansion. This hinges on his upcoming move to Arikirevula on June 12th.
Okay, a physical move.
Yes. And the AI pushes him to rethink his educational model there. Don't just build a standard school, build a Gurukul.
A Gurukul being the traditional Indian residential schooling system where students literally live with the guru.
Exactly the concept, but modernized. Virtual assistants pay a premium to live and work in his highly curated ecosystem, immersing themselves completely in his methodology.
Wow, a total immersion program.
Yeah. Additionally, he has an existing partnership with a company called Excelligent for trading terminals.
Right, the AI mentions that.
So instead of just teaching people how to trade, he needs to act as the portfolio ecosystem architect. He manages the tech infrastructure his students use to trade for clients, like a mentioned client named Manohar, and takes a 5 to 10% platform fee.
So build the toll road. Don't just drive the cars.
Exactly. Build the toll road.
The AI also suggests he take his daily personal insights, literally his morning walk with Murty musings, and package them into a paid BTech Academy course.
Record it once, sell it infinitely.
Yes, which leads us to the final horizon, phase 3, legacy samadhi for year 1 and beyond. Now, samadhi implies a state of ultimate spiritual union or intense concentration.
But in a business context, it means total self-sustaining independence.
Right. The finish line isn't personal wealth. The finish line is funding a palliative care hospice without needing to actively grind for daily cash.
Then to achieve that, the AI insists he must license the Antaryami method.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because Antaryami translates to the inner controller or inner guide. How does an inner guide become a licensable business asset?
Well, remember Murty's biggest bottleneck? He personally manages the ecosystem.
Right, the astrology vetting.
Yeah. The Antaryami method basically translates his intuition and AstroSync tracking into an operational framework that other trainers can use. He teaches the system how to govern itself.
Oh, I see.
By turning his philosophy into a formal digital prism book or a specialized software as a service, he completely removes himself from the daily friction. He also must finalize his B-Tech institutional IP partnership to ensure lifetime royalties.
It's like a brilliant, fiercely independent garage band. They play incredible 16-hour sets for free just because they love the music.
Yeah.
But they are exhausted and broke until this AI steps in and acts as a ruthless new tour manager.
And the tool manager looks at the talent and says, look, if we stop giving this away, package the albums properly and sell merchandise, we can sell out stadiums.
Yeah.
And with stadium money, you can actually afford to build that community hospice you've been dreaming about.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
But if you want to play stadiums, you can't keep rehearsing in a garage at random hours.
No, you can't.
To execute this massive Artha Wealth blueprint, the AI notes that Murty can't just keep working the way he does. His daily 16-hour clock needs a radical surgical realignment.
Yeah, the AI dives incredibly deep into the biological genius of his schedule, which it calls the dual drive engine.
The dual drive engine. Okay, break that down for us.
The engine relies on respecting distinct phases of human energy. It starts with the ambrosial hours, from 2.0 a.m. to 5:08.
Right, back to the 2 a.m. wake up.
The world is asleep, there are zero inbound emails, and the sensory noise is at absolute zero. The AI mandates this block be fiercely protected for high-value deep work and IP creation.
Like writing the book or coding the sauce product.
Exactly. Then, to counteract the massive cognitive load, he takes a non-negotiable biological siesta from 1.00 p.m. to 4.0 p.m.
That siesta is the cooling system preventing the fatigue wall.
Yeah.
I mean, elite high performers know you have to schedule recovery as aggressively as you schedule work. But, and I have to throw a massive flag on the play here, when looking at the next part of his schedule.
The passive block.
Yes. He has this massive block from 4.0 p.m. to 8.0 p.m. He describes it as mood-based and passive social time, wandering around, meeting locals, running random errands because the summer heat in India makes intense focus difficult.
It does get incredibly hot.
Sure, but if you are in a massive cash crunch and your directive is to build a multi-million-dollar KPO, isn't a passive 4-hour block every single afternoon just a catastrophic productivity leak?
On a sterile corporate spreadsheet, it absolutely looks like a leak.
Right.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the AI actually validates this specific block. It redefines its purpose as synchronizing with the world.
Okay, how so?
Think back to the dual drive engine. 2.0 a.m. to 5.0 a.m. is the internal engine. It's pure isolation. But 4.0 p.m. to 8.0 p.m. is the external engine. That is when the local economy, the financiers, and the potential clients are actually awake and doing business.
I guess you simply cannot close a high-ticket consulting retainer at 3 in the morning.
Exactly. So the AI accepts the seasonal reality of the summer heat, but it refuses to let the time remain passive.
It applies a framework to ensure those hours aren't wasted.
Yes. It gives Murty a brilliant strategic tool called the 3-question filter.
The 3-question filter.
Every single casual activity or interaction during those 4 afternoon hours must answer yes to at least one of 3 specific questions.
Okay, what are they?
Number 1, does this activity build Artha? Meaning, does it generate wealth or secure a contract?
Makes sense.
Number 2, does it build ecosystem, like repairing a local server or optimizing a workflow?
Got it.
Or number 3, does it build community, bonding with the locals in Revula who will eventually support and staff the hospice?
Wow. So if he is doing something that doesn't build wealth, doesn't fix the ecosystem, and doesn't strengthen the community, it's a leak.
And he has to stop doing it immediately.
That instantly transforms aimless wandering into a highly targeted sales and relationship funnel.
It's incredibly efficient.
Which culminates in this finalized strategic mantra for his entire day. I'm looking at the breakdown and it's just incredibly clean. 2.00 a.m. to 5.0 a.m. is for building assets. 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. running the VA training is for building people. 9.00 a.m. to 12.00 p.m. handling university and office workflows is for building institutions. And 4.00 p.m. to 8.0 p.m. is for building community.
It perfectly aligns his biological rhythm with his spiritual dharma and his urgent requirement for liquidity. Nothing is wasted, you know. Everything is integrated.
So what does this all mean for you listening to this deep dive right now?
Yeah.
You probably aren't waking up at 2 in the morning to align your cloud servers with lunar mansions.
Probably not.
But the core lesson here applies to anyone trying to create value.
Yeah.
You do not have to sacrifice your unique, perhaps unconventional way of thinking. But if you want to make a lasting impact, you absolutely must transition from being the person quietly doing the work to being the architect of a system that scales.
And that requires a fundamental shift in how you value your own expertise. The breakthrough happens when you stop charging for information which clients can find anywhere and start charging for transformation. Murty's entire trajectory changed the moment he was advised to stop acting as a mentor, handing out advice, and start acting as a migration strategist who permanently transforms a client's digital reality.
That pivot from advice to outcome is everything. And it leaves us with one final lingering question to mull over. Think about your own schedule. We all have our own version of Murty's 4.0 p.m. passive block.
We do.
Those evening hours where we drift, scroll through our phones, and tell ourselves we're just unwinding or like passively networking. What if you applied that strict 3-question filter to your own downtime tonight?
That's a challenging thought.
Are you genuinely building wealth? Are you optimizing your ecosystem? Or are you deepening your community? Because if you aren't actively doing one of those three, you aren't truly resting. You are just leaking your most valuable, irreplaceable asset, your time.
Absolutely right.
Thank you for joining us on this custom-tailored deep dive. We'll catch you next time.